they're quoting from, they're saying they're doing it because it allows them to do it in the Quran. They're saying
that's what basically I came here, because basically they're not following Islam. They're not following the teachings of the Quran and of the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They're not. No, they're not, because we are against them. They are away from Islam. Actually, they are doing more harm than doing more than good. So what is the good? Even Allah says in the Quran, in the meaning of the Quran, He says in Surah Al-Ma'idah, chapter 5, ayah 32, He says, if you kill one soul of the mankind, you have killed all the whole of humanity. But if you save the one life of the mankind, you save the whole of humanity. So these people, whoever call themselves Daesh, ISIS, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, whoever group, we are against them.
So they're using the Quran, they're misquoting. They're basically saying, they're taking like verses out and they say, oh, we're allowed to do it because this verse says we're allowed to go there and take the woman as captives, because they're doing it today.
Yeah, like modern day. That's what I'm saying. That's what I can say.
Like jihadis, they call the Quran out of context.
Out of context.
They got their agenda, ulterior motive,
exactly.
And we know it. Muslims know that.
Exactly.
They don't follow the Quran and they say hadith or Rasul.
And I can tell you the same thing.
They even Muslim women, they know. That's what they use.
And the same thing is with the Christians now. What about the Christians, like the KKK, for example? In America, the KKK, are they considered to be as Christians?
Yeah, but they don't consider them as a Christian group. They're basically more like a radicalized, like a racial group.
There you go.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
But the KKK don't go with the Bible and say it says in this verse that the whites are superior. You know,
what I'm saying.
There's a difference between the KKK.
When someone does that, you got to go. You should read the Quran. I don't follow the Quran.
Exactly.
This verse is he talking about? Killing, maiming innocent people. Exactly. In the Quran.
It's not even the scholars, the ulama against that anybody who kills anybody. I'll give you one of the great scholars, Sheikh Abdul Aziz bin Baz, rahimahullah ta'ala. He said he warned Osama bin Laden in his risala, in his writing. He refuted him. He said, bin Laden, I urge you to get knowledge and seek knowledge and to turn from your fanaticism. That's what he said. Bin Baz was a great scholar. So a lot of the scholars said they refuted those people who do suicide bombing, hijacking, blowing up buses, trains, the planes. That is not Islam. Where is this Islam and Quran? This is against. And we've got scholars. We've got scholars not just in Saudi, but throughout the whole globe that have refuted all of them. You understand?
Do you think there's like there's something, because there's too many of these groups coming up? I mean, there's like basically like 100 of these different groups that are coming up, like extremist groups, and they basically all saying, you know, it says in the Quran, and they even when they kill people, they're basically saying, you know, they're doing it out of religion. They're not saying it's a personal issue or political issue.
No.
Saying it's
you know, because political. Somebody say that's it.
Even when they do stabbings here, they say praise be to God. Their language.
Listen.
And then they kill someone. They stab someone.
30 years ago here. 30 years ago, did you hear any suicide bombing or stabbing people? Do you hear any Muslims? I'm a Muslim. 30 years ago. No, 30 years ago.
Look it up.
No, 30 years ago.
All the time.
No, I said 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
It's
not just here.
No. 30 years ago, even in Europe.
Okay.
Did you hear any Muslim, any so-called Muslim suicide bombing and all these things? Any groups? Any ISIS 30 years ago?
30 years ago. I guess it wasn't as prominent. It wasn't as prominent.
No, if
now.
this was in the Quran, why is it happening now?
Yeah.
If this,
that's my question.
That common sense tell you these people, they've got an ulterior motive and agenda.
Yeah.
They're not from the Quran, because Allah said in the Quran in Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, verse number 190, fight in the way of Allah those who fight against you.
Those who fight against
Allah. Fight against.
So they can retaliate.
Listen, fight in the way of Allah those who fight against you, but do not transgress. Verily, Allah your supply those who fight against you. No innocent people.
So that you're allowed to defend yourself, basically.
If you come and attack me, I'll bust your head. If someone come and attack me, you think I'm going to stand there?
Yeah.
Victim, I'll take you out. Self-defense. But I'm not going to go on innocent people. They are no Muslims. We abhor them. Anyone who goes there, Allah Akbar, you are out of Islam. That's the thing.
So, like in the end, I mean, when you see the US invading the Middle East and you see the extremist groups coming up, are they defending themselves? They're defending like this. They might view themselves as defending the country, like ISIS. They might say, look, you know, they are just defending themselves against the invaders. You could say that.
And then go and kill innocent people.
And then they kill innocent people.
They're not the sitting. They are killing innocent people. As you say, they are taking women, raping them. That's not the Quran. That's not there. Islam is a peaceful religion. It's peaceful. Just that's why I said George Bernard Shaw. George Bernard Shaw was an Irish playwright, critic, and polemicist whose influence on Western theatre, culture, and politics extended from the 1880s to his death. He said that if a man like Muhammad were to assume the dictatorship of the modern world, he would succeed in solving its problems that would bring it the much needed peace and happiness. He said, I've studied him, the man, and my opinion, he is far from being an antichrist. He must be called the savior of humanity.
How many versions of the Quran is there? There's a couple of versions.
No, only one verse.
I want to show you one verse. So Surah Al-Muhaina, chapter 60, ayah 8. The meaning says, Allah does not forbid you from those who do not fight you because of your religion, and do not expel you from your homes, from being righteous towards them and act justly towards them. Indeed, Allah loves those who act justice, to act justly. So in this verse shows how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us how to act justly, fairly, kindly with who? The people. This is this thing, and this is the show by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He didn't come with the people say with sword and saying you have to accept Islam. No, he came with justice, fairness, husn khuluq. He had the best characteristics. Even with all the people, even the non-Muslims in the time of in Mecca at that time, but they still saw the good character and the behavior in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that's how we today, as Muslims today, have to have that same character, the same behavior, the same mannerism of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we can show that Islam is what? It's a peaceful religion. It's a religion of mercy, a religion of kindness, and it's a religion for all the humanity.
So do you think these groups that are coming up are like basically misrepresenting Islam, like all these groups, Boko Haram?
That's what I'm saying. It's all these groups, whether it's Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, Daesh, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, we are against all of them. We are against all, but we have to be fair and just about other things that was taking place, like such as the people like the KKK, what they did to the people in America, the people who did in Nagasaki, and all the people around the world. We have to be fair and just in these matters. So we not just condemn. Yeah, we condemn as well, but we condemn the other crimes as well.
Islam condemns all sorts of violence against humanity, whether committed by Muslims or non-Muslims. We abhor it. Simple as that. So the thing is now, we only have hate preachers. We know Islam is grossly misrepresented by the media. Whatever happens, and a so-called Muslim, committed atrocities anywhere in the world. Muhammad Razak, Islam. Why can't we blame that man? Maybe that man is not even a proper Muslim. He's not following the Quran. But if other people from other faith does it, they won't blame their faith. This is the problem. We know that.
The problem is when the KKK used to lynch people and kill people. They didn't really do it in a name of religion. They basically had this political agenda. They're saying they're superior because they're white. So the thing is with what's happening these days, the extremists is they're doing it in the name of religion.
What I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? As an intelligent person, you can find out, do your research. Even despite the fact that Islam is grossly misrepresented by the media, and these people are coming here maligning Islam, hundreds of thousands are accepting Islam.
Yourself Quran and know your universal.
And then despite that, people are coming, taking the shahada.
One about the senior scholars in Saudi Arabia, well he passed now, Sheikh Muhammad Salih al-Uthmin, rahimahullah ta'ala, he wrote in his Risala, and Risala is like his speeches, Kitab al-Ilm, that he said the first thing that we must have ilm, knowledge about Allah's religion, knowledge about Prophet ﷺ, and knowledge of the deen. Knowledge is not based upon ignorancy. So when you don't have knowledge, you don't have ilm, you're going to have this jahil who just go misposting people say, oh, that one's doing this, he's doing this. No, we, the Muslims, general against all of you, and Islam is against all forms of acts of extremism.
So tell me, these days, like when there's an incident that happens, like you know, there's many, but when there's a particular incident that happens, the imams, the famous imams around the world, do they condemn it? They actually stand up and say, look, what happened there is completely wrong. They speak out against it on TV. They say,
you can look at one masjid called Green Lane Masjid.
We never hear about it. We don't. You never hear.
Type Green Lane Masjid. Green Lane Masjid. You hear the imam, I can't remember his name now. He condemned those people, what's going on in Syria, in Daesh. He condemned them on the minbar, straight. And he brought the matters about, even about this another matter about, I'm sorry, I'm going to say this grooming gang thing, when people say, oh, he's a Muslim because he's got a Muslim name, his name is Ahmed or name Muhammad. But is he practicing? He's just got a Muslim name, and this is another part that we condemn, that if people say, oh, look, Muslim man grooming children or younger, we condemn this as well. There's nothing to do with Islam, not from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ.
Is it universal? All the imams agreeing with it, or is it some of them are like very quiet about it?
No, a majority arguing with it, and that man, the Imam I told you, if you type Green Lane Masjid, you see that message about condemn about Daesh, that girl went to Syria, condemn her, and the other issues as well that is even affecting within our community as well, because we have our own issues in our communities that we need to sort out as well,
because
as Muslims as well.
In the Western media, you never hear about it. It's just quiet. It's
because they won't even bring it. They won't even bring it. But the Muslims, they will speak the truth. They will speak the truth, and they'll see the real picture of Islam. Say, this is the real picture of Islam. This is the real Islam. When Grenfell Tower, you remember Grenfell Tower? Who was there helping those people in humanity? It was the Muslims. And the people, even was a Christian who said, thank God, if it wasn't for the Muslims, we would have died. Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. She had admitted that came here and said, if the Muslims didn't come and save us and give us blankets and clothes and food and shelter, we would have died. This is a part of Islam. This is a part of doing good for humanity.
So in let's say, because we live in London, we've had a couple of incidences happen here, even here by the Big Ben. There was a stabbing and a guy that was riding his van and smashed into people. Why wasn't there like a big protest or something against it? You know, like we didn't see any type of reaction from the Muslim community in London to say, you know, these guys are crazy. You know,
we condemn that as well. We did condemn that.
We didn't hear anything about it.
We condemn that. We condemn that. Even our scholars.
What do you say quiet? What do you mean quiet? You want to come in groups and condemn it? Like, you know, what would they? We know that they don't even represent Islam. That's it. Why would they? They're not even Muslims, in fact. Because they got a Muslim name, they've got an agenda. I tell you, Islam condemns all sorts of violence committed by Muslims or non-Muslims. Period. Nowhere in there. It's all peace. If you have, as I said, knowledge is very powerful. Need to rally yourself. Don't listen to the media. People like Bob, build that fake preacher out there. Came today, we'll talk about Rasul. See, same thing. Maligning Rasul. People listen to him. And they get him paid. Bob gets him paid to do that.
And that's what I'm saying. Let's say these guys that did that, and they went and killed the people on the bridge. You believe they were like brainwashed? Or what do you believe they're not Muslims? They weren't Muslims. They were like brainwashed.
You think it's someone who is sane, whose mental faculties are intact, who take their own life? I'm telling you, why would they do that? Why would a person think about that? Maybe they've got a mental problem. And later generations of they've got an agenda. They've got an agenda we don't know. But why would someone take their own life? For what? Because if you do that as a Muslim, the Hadith said that you're going to go to hell.
As the Prophet Muhammad said that
my understanding from what I've discussed with different people is, because I've never really spoken to a Muslim before, is that if they do that, they believe they're martyrs and they'll be rewarded, you know, in some way. So they basically die, if they like going there with their van, they're smashing people, they go and they stab a police officer or whoever. Yeah, the understanding that we get,
that's your understanding.
Most Westerners get is that they are kind of brainwashed, but they're doing it to get their reward. So they don't mind if they die.
If you say most,
they don't mind they die.
What I'm saying,
because they'll get like I don't know.
When you say most Westerners, these are the people who have studied the Quran. Thomas Carlyle, who was a Scottish writer, essayist and teacher, and historian during the Victorian era. When you read the Quran, it says, if a book comes from the heart, it will contrast with other parts. All art and autographs are small amounts of that. One would say the primary character of the Quran is this, of its genuineness, of its being a bona fide book. A non-Muslim scholar, if you don't read it, you will know. You got to read the Quran yourself. That's the thing. Those people, there's nowhere in the Quran saying
you will know about Islam.
If you read a human, yourself. Don't listen to anybody.
Just read yourself.
So let's say, for instance, now we have like all these extremist groups that have come up. What is the majority of the Islam, the Muslim community doing in response to it? You say, you know, like they can't allow these groups to carry on, because these groups are actually growing quite powerful. They're actually forming their own. They're taking over large parts of Iraq, taking over oil fields. They're getting funds, they're getting money to buy weapons, and they're growing. But what is the Islamic community doing in response to it? To say, like, because basically just leaving it up to the governments to say sort it out.
Yeah, in those parts of the world, before what happened there, let's say 15 years ago, was it a peaceful place? Did Tony Blair and those who went there? Who created it? The place was peaceful. Let's go back to history. Yeah, this may not happening. So that's it. Let's stop being hypocritical. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, look at the place now. How it's in chaos now.
So look,
we have to use our faculties and reasoning. You know,
with politics.
As I said, there's nothing to do with another thing.
I mean, with the West, the US invading different countries, also don't agree with
political agenda.
It's very clear to the world what the US is doing, and they're against it. And the Americans actually know it, you know, because even the travelers, they'll travel around and they'll be a little bit, the world hates us, you know, because of what is done. But that's what I'm saying. The extremist groups come up and they're there. They're not going away. They're growing.
Our concern, America created it. They created it. Because there's no way. They created it.
They created all the agencies.
They created it over there. That's it. Because, you know, the place was peaceful. They got good rulers there who are ruling them. That's it. While you went there, you bombed the hell out of people and you created these things. They created them. But they are not, it's not a Quran. Quran, as I said, it's not, I can give you this copy, I've got a copy. I've got a copy on my phone. Then they couldn't afford it. Then, exactly, so don't listen to people like that. This man, they have to look at him. Hate preacher there, or the media.
That's what I'm saying.
Trying to, you know, read the Quran for your own benefit.
What I'm saying now is throughout the world, if you're saying that Islam is being misrepresented, it's going to carry on getting worse. As long as the extremist groups are there, they're going to keep doing the thing, you know. So the incidences don't stop. It's all around the world.
Look,
as long as the groups are there, it's going to carry on getting worse and worse.
Look, the prophecy.
Even though the religion itself might be good, you know, it's displayed throughout the world as something as evil. You know what I'm saying?
Even if you have billions of extremists in the world, you got the whole media against Islam. You know what Allah said in the Quran in Surah Fath, chapter 48, verse 42. They said, "Huwa allazi arsalahu bil huda." He, Allah, is the one who has sent His messenger with guidance, وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ, and the religion of truth, in order that it may prevail over all religion. And Allah is enough with this fact that, guess what? He's going to make His religion prevail. Islam is the more religion. Even the whole world is against Islam. So I don't care. As you say,
It's the most fast-growing religion, right?
so you're sitting
Why?
with all these anti-Islamic and so right, all these people here, media, people, hundreds of thousands of people every year that are taking the shahada, come to Islam.
Why?
With all these extremism, people are reading.
when you
You know, as
read
you say,
yourself.
when people hear walk around doing that, and I said, they go, let me see the Quran. When they read it, they say, oh, it's not Islam. By the time they finish reading it, they take their shahada. I'll tell you one gentleman, he was born here. Secondary school and university, classmates were students, his classmates, some of them were Muslims. Nobody did that on him. He said one day, I think at work, somebody gave him a copy of the Quran. He said when he opened the Quran, Surah Rahman, by the time he finished it, he went to Turkish Shahada. He became a Muslim.
You know, my understanding is you have religion, you read it, you be a good person. But from what we see is if someone gets very deep into religion and they start believing everything that's there, as in literally, they become extreme. They might even go to Syria. You know, they want to fight.
Okay. Why do you get the idea from? Why do you get the idea from? Why do you get that idea
That's the
from?
understanding that I get.
No, I said no. Understand?
Someone
No, what I'm saying.
Very religious and dedicated.
But I am.
They want to go to.
I'm an example. Look, I'm here. Why am I not there?
he's not there?
Why? Tell me why.
I don't know.
Because I read it. As he's not there. These people are doing it. They are doing it.
Understanding things
Yeah, they understand. When you read it, it's not here.
properly. What exactly is there?
They understand it differently and they say, okay, they read it and we like, oh, we need to fight the enemies. We need to, the unfaithful ones,
There's no way. No.
unbelievers.
Look. No, that's why I said read it. That's why I said read it. There's no way.
Says they must kill the unbelievers.
You should get a copy of this. Forget about
That's what the media is doing.
Read it when you
They're
read it.
misquoting things.
They're misquoting. Read it.
They're creating a bad image of Muslims. So you should not believe all the time on media. You should read yourself Quran and then you
When the guys stab guys at stations and stuff, do they not say infidel and they stab them? And
if a man is bad, you cannot blame that for whole nation, for whole Muslim community. I'm a bad person, for example. Okay? You cannot blame this man for that. I am doing something wrong.
Exactly.
I don't categorize like generalize the entire, because I mean there's like 1 billion of Muslims, so I don't say chuck them all into one category. There's obviously, I think there's even different divisions among Muslims. There's different
why, and also why.
It's not everything what I'm saying. What you're saying is not in the Quran. That when you read this book, when you're deeply in it, you're gonna be what? Indoctrinated and you may go to it is not what I'm saying. You are listening to the media. You're reading the Quran. You haven't read it, I can tell.
I've tried to read a little bit, but I haven't read it from like cover to cover, you know.
You should read it slowly. You'll understand it. And after that, you will realize
Read it from cover to cover. Maybe if I believe it, you know, then
you have to
as
understand.
I say, like if someone understanding is if someone reads it and they really believe what's going on here, they're going to become extreme, and they might sign up to.
There's nothing extreme in it. You will love it, believe me.
Can we move this way? Can we move this way? Let's move this way. Can we move this way? No, because it's loud.
That's totally okay if you don't believe it. But you know, to know Islam yourself, you need to read yourself.
But you should question it, isn't it? Because
It's your right to question it.
Question something that you know. If you don't know it, how can you question it?
let's say for instance, if someone gets into religion and they become a Christian, you say, is that person becoming good? What are they doing? You know, what are they doing? Are they becoming a better person?
There's something I want to tell you. I found this out this morning. Do you know these extremists you talk about? They quote the Quran, they kill people who do so. At the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, there was someone who, I'll read this out to you. There was an extreme classification.
Just too loud.
Number of because
from the 10 are the innocent people. But who brings the states, the state terrorism, who brings the people to the court? See what I mean? No one. So if you look at it, what you're doing is if you look at, yes, I'm not denying there is terrorism.